Pisces, Sun, Moon, and Rising. This is your reading for the first week of 2025. Many happy returns for the new year. We have, as your first card, the Fool. Such a great energy to see, particularly as we start a new year, because it's all about adventure, excitement, new beginnings, welcoming in things with open arms. And not being too caught up or worried about perhaps some of the hazards that lay in front of us. Sometimes when we go into a new year and just past the old one, we can have this enormous to-do list. We can worry about, okay, what's it going to look like? What do I need to consider? All of those things. And there's just a gentle reminder here that there's no need for that. We don't know what's around the corner. So beautifully summarized as well as the Moon card, which is your final card of the spread. So I'll talk about that more in a moment. But there will be these inevitable twists and turns as we pass through the next 12 months. So just, is there any point worrying? Is there any point being anxious? Or would it be much more fun and exciting just to embrace change, embrace new beginnings, embrace these new chapters? I love the Fool card because his trump card is 0. And that represents the fact that all of his experiences are going to shape who he becomes, she becomes, they become, as they move through that journey of meeting all the major arcana. It's in terms way kind of being virginal and pure of heart and going into things without expectation and this almost childlike wonderment. And the more that we can embrace those qualities, the better. It's not that we forget past actions. Again, the Fool card carries this little knapsack, this thing on the end of his rod, which indicates his karma, his past experiences, his past actions. But then we have the white rose, which also indicates his purity of heart. So it's using these two things in combination, not discarding our wisdom or understanding of the time ahead and just pretending that everything will be fine, but rather using those and hoping that everything will be fine. So it's a really, really hopeful card. So I'm hoping that means that you're entering into this week and entering into this year full of optimism, as the yellow behind him would suggest. We move then on to the 5 of Pentacles, which is the Lord of Material Trouble. Ordinarily, when this card comes up, it can be a little bit, okay, how are we going to do this? Interestingly enough, it's the card of winter. You've got all this snow there, and there's a couple of things I want to say on this. When I turned it over in your spread, I kind of slightly dismissed it. I kind of laughed at it. Might be a bit too strong an expression, but I kind of thought, oh well. And I think that's the attitude to bring, because as much as 5 is the number of chaos, and as much as the Pentacles is about health and wealth, remember what I said before, that life is full of twists and turns, and we never know what's around the corner. And just as much as we may hit times of frustration and times of hardship, that can change in an instant. That can change on a dime, pun intended. Therefore, if you're experiencing financial worries, something that I've said to quite a few different zodiac signs, unsurprising, as January we tend to be a little bit broke. That tends to be Blue Monday, doesn't it? Which I think is the 3rd Monday of January. We tend to overextend ourselves financially over the Christmas period. Therefore, don't be surprised if you're entering in this week thinking, ooh, am I going to be okay financially? There's a wonderful book called Chill and Prosper by Denise Thomas. I've forgotten the last name, but her mantra is there'll always be more money, there'll always be more abundance. And if we enter into things from a place of lack, then that reinforces that to the universe. Remember, like attracts like. If you are experiencing slight financial turbulence, there's a little bit of a pinch, there's a little bit of a worry, then it's not, there's a difference between burying your head in the sand, between actually, I'm not going to invest all my time, my mental energy, my worry into that, because it will only exacerbate it and make it worse. Maybe you need to take the necessary steps. But for me, because this energy of, I looked at it and went, okay, it's fine, we'll move on. I think that's more of it. Interestingly as well, we have in the background the stained glass window with the anchor. And this is a reminder that even in times of strife and in times of trouble, allowing our spiritual selves to be our anchor is the most important thing we can do. It's allowing faith and trust in the universe to illuminate our lives even in the most challenging of times. It's funny where it places as well, because it's directly in between the Fool card and the Knight of Wands. And there's a similarity certainly between the Fool card and the Knight of Wands. These are both energies of excitement, of expansion, particularly in terms of seeing new things, experiencing new things, going to new horizons. Knight of Wands is often the travel card as well. So whether you have been going traveling, or at the very least, I would ensure that you're not stuck in the same four walls, that you are getting out, that you are keeping that sense of motivation and excitement. Keep that rolling as you move through the week, particularly if you're experiencing this at all. This adventure, this sense of excitement, might be a really nice tonic for any worries that are arising. But the fact that you have the Fool and the Knight of Wands bookending that Five of Pentacles energy again suggests to me that it's almost isolated within that bigger energy of, do you know what, I'm just really looking forward to what the year might bring. The last two cards that we have here are the Queen of Cups and the Moon. Very, very watery signs, watery elements, linking, unsurprisingly, with your card. Just realized is the Moon anyway. So it's nice. I think Leo and Virgo also had their card within their spread. And for me, that often represents, do what your star sign does really well. Cultivate that, highlight that, really bring it to the focus. So the Pisces, you're so good at this dreams and intuition and having these big ideas and looking to the future, and the sky's the limit, all of those qualities. And now is a really, really great time to be connecting with your emotions and intuition, as the Queen of Cups suggests. Might be quite nice to do some activities to reconnect with your intuition. This isn't a time to be intellectually led or financially led. It is a time to be intuitively and emotionally led. What feels right? That's a really good question to be asking yourself this week. What feels right? Not just on the day-to-day activities, although that may be part of it, but also in a larger scale of, well, what feels right for me to do in 2025? What has felt a little bit out of alignment, or what has felt that I've neglected a little bit, or what feels as though it needs more attention and more focus. And I would say that anything that is new and exciting within that, go do it. Because you have this combination of the Knight of Wands to the Queen of Cups. It's a really great combination, actually, thinking about it. I've not often seen that relationship in kind of working so much. It's almost that the Queen of Cups is there with her crystal ball, and she's intuiting and prophesizing what to do and telling the Knight of Wands, right, go and do that. So she's almost providing the compass for his enthusiasm, his excitement, his sense of adventure, so that he ends up in the right place. And I think that is very much the approach that you should be taking this week and further on. And that's my reading for you, Pisces. I hope that proves useful. Be sure to check out your rising sign and your moon sign, as the moon card would suggest, in order to get a more rounded or more in-depth and fuller reading. If you're not sure how to do that, do not worry. We've got you. Go and check out the website, look under offerings and see free weekly readings. And there is a long description on how you can discover both. But until next week, have a wonderful, wonderful start of the year, and I shall see you then. Bye for now.